So our new equations for loans and investments look just like the old ones, except this number here, 12 is for monthly. We're making monthly payments on a loan in this exact scenario that I have on the board. This is the payment. The $5,200, that's how much you're paying towards your loan. The fact that it's minus there means it's a payments on a loan. What if it was a plus there? If it's plus, it's a deposit into investment. So this is either a payment or it could be a deposit. The cool thing is I literally have one slide today. If you have got this all, I have given you all the information at once. You need this. I'm going to be walking by in a minute. I want to see it on your iPad. This is your only notes for today. You're expected to know what the principal is. You're expected to know if something is a payment or a deposit based on the minus or the plus that's right here. And then that number 5,200, that's either the payment on a loan or it's a deposit into your investment. All right, I'm going to pause for a second. Just make sure you're taking decent notes here. Because that's it. That's all the info on one place. I made it as simple as I could. The table settings thing is going to become a really big deal. So go to your table. Make sure it starts at U0. That means at the beginning, you borrowed $500,000. After U1, that's 1 month now. See, because of this is monthly, because there's a 12 right there, this is a monthly problem. So U1 is 1 month later. Did the $500,000 go down? Good. Then I made a big enough payment. Do you get, if you think about it, if I made a $1 payment, do you get that the interest would be so much that if I had only made a $1 payment, my loan amount would actually rise? Some people actually do that to themselves on credit cards. They've borrowed like $20,000, $30,000 on their credit card, but they only make the minimum payment. If you only make the minimum payment, the amount that you owe them actually rises. And next month you still owe them more than you did last month because you didn't make big enough payments. All right, so if this is going down each month, there's no cool formula for this, but someplace way out in the future, it'll get paid off. I can tell you this. I know it's over 100 months from now. Would you go change your table settings and try to see when the amount finally goes to 0 or even below 0, which just means you actually paid it off and they owe you money back. If there's a negative number instead of a 0, it won't hit exactly 0. It'll go negative. And that means you paid it off completely. Did you find it? No. Calculator issue?
Yeah.
Okay, if your table isn't working, please right now go to, if your table is not working, go to table set. Do you know where table settings is? In table set, I want you to put 0.
Sounds 0.
Okay, then there's something wrong in your y equals, but I'll come and help you in a second. All right, I'll pause for a second on the video here. If I were to change all my numbers to be a loan of 1,000, I'd put a 1,000 here. If it's a loan, then this has to be a minus right here. And if I said you were going to pay your friend back $52 a month, then I just chopped this couple zeros off here, and there's my equation. You see how that worked? Now, would you take a look at the chart and arrow down for a bit? How long does it take? And if you're like, but Mr. Server, the amount's going up, then I wasn't making big enough payments. But I think the amount's going down. What'd you get?
21 months.
21 months. Awesome. Would you agree that's a little less than 2 years? All right, cool. Figure out how to mute this thing. There we go. Okay. Do you get loans? Do you get loans? That's the bigger kind. Investments are actually way simpler. We already did investments before. The only difference to make this an investment, change that to a plus. And then you would be adding $52 every month. And then your amount would go up every month. And that makes sense. You add 1,000, now you're putting more in every month. It should be bigger every month, right? So as soon as you get the difference between a loan and an investment, then we've got today. And your assignment is a Schoology quiz. I think it's going to be easy. Would you please open it up and get started on the Schoology quiz? And then, I know you're going to have individual questions, and I want to help you with them. Let's just start the Schoology quiz together. I always feel like once we got the first one done, you're like halfway done, because you got it started, you know where it is, you got the idea. Could you read me? I see the beginning part of it that starts with 450, and it looks like we're adding 50, and it's 3.9. Can you read those numbers to me again? How much was the principal for this?
450.
450, 450?
Yeah.
All right, and then how much interest were they asking us to use?
3.9% or 0.039.
So I'm going to go 0 plus 0.039. Now notice they didn't divide by 12 because at the beginning they assume you're not very good at this yet, and so they don't do any dividing by. Because this is just going to happen once a year. Could I have said divided by 1? Sure, but that would just be wasting your time. Because dividing by 1 doesn't do anything. Don't forget though, as soon as it changes to monthly, you got to have a divided by 12 in here. Okay, and then how much were the payments you were making?
$50.
And was it an investment or was it a loan? What did they say?
Investment.
Then I should put a plus right there. All right. Now we're started. What's the first actual question they ask then?
They ask if it's a loan or investment.
Oh, well, that's easy to tell because this must be a plus. If it's a plus, it's an investment. It's a deposit into an investment. Remember our notes? And what's the second question they ask, Isaac?
Principal.
Principal. That's this amount. It's either the money you gave the bank or the money the bank gave you. All right, I think you got the idea. You're starting. If you need more help, there's a kid right next to you doing the same exact Schoology quiz. They're your first cry for help. Next, I'm going to hand back your tests. Now, overall, the tests were awesome. Tons of A's, tons of 100s, and then there's a few people that unfortunately got C's. So I would strongly recommend retaking a C. I would medium recommend retaking a B because we're at the very beginning. Do you really want to start with a B and then you need like 2 A's after that to average an A? See what I mean? If your first test is a B, you will need 2 A's in a row to be averaging an A again. I personally would probably take a B over again if it was my first, and I want an A in the class. If you're fine with the B in the class, that's fine. But if I had a B, I'd think about retaking it. Now, what does a retake entail in my class? It's pretty easy. You need to do your homework. If you're missing homework, you got to go back and do it if you're going to do a retake. Number 2, you have to do corrections. So if you got 4 wrong on the test, you have to fix those 4. Okay? All right. And now I will get those tests back to you. And that's all I got for the video for today.